Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and I wanted to do an update video for you and let you know a little bit about my plans for 2021 and give you a little bit of news. So my plan for this year is to post nearly every day, at least 6 days a week, and that includes live shows. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm planning on just doing the live shows, not posting anything during the day, and I'm going to start, you might have already noticed, I'm going to start trying to post videos around the same time that live shows happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So each time a video releases, it will be in the evening. I want to start having some consistency for that. That might help folks with schedules and just have a real good sense of when we're going to post stuff so that you can look forward to that if you watch a lot of the things that we put up. And I want to do a lot more of these kind of raw blog style videos and use that format in order to get out more how we felt about and or more how I felt about much of the time, and comic vaults and those sorts of things, because I want to start, and I know I say this a lot, really focusing more on Superhero Rewind than anything else. For lots of reasons, that has been really few and far between. I know a lot of folks are disappointed about that. I am as well. I've gotten really reinvigorated with that series as I've brought it to podcast form, and as much as I was not comfortable with just posting audio, and that's part of the reason that that wasn't coming out as often, is just I was really bummed about the format. I was never really happy with that. But the podcast side of it is starting to go pretty well. We've got some folks listening to that on Anchor and on Spotify, and now that I've really committed to that as just a podcast, as just an audio thing, and I'm not oscillating back and forth and trying to figure out a way to make that a visual thing again, I am feeling a lot more comfortable and confident in that show. I'm putting out the second part of the Superhero Rewind ranking show this week, where I'm ranking all the movies that I have reviewed on Superhero Rewind, although I've already discovered that since I shot that, I have already shot that, it's going to come out later this week, there's already at least one movie that I realized didn't get on that list. I think Avengers somehow was missing in the 3s or the 3.5s, wherever I put that. I think that was a 3. But anyway, so the list is not totally complete yet, but you can see me rank most of those movies if you want to do that. Thanks to everybody who checked out the first part of that and who also left comments letting me know about mistakes I was making into that and helping me to figure out what things were missing and things like that. So that is the main focus. I want to try to put out at least 2 of those a month. In a perfect world, I would get back to weekly. It's very difficult to do that with my schedule. I have reworked my schedule for this year, my production schedule, for when during the day I'm in, actually it's mostly in the evening, it's mostly after my kids and my wife go to bed, of course, that I am shooting stuff and reading and watching things for review. Hopefully I will have more time to check out some TV shows and movies that I would have liked to have by now gone ahead and done reviews of, and more recent things that have come out. I got Transformers knocked out over the weekend. I want to do more of that kind of stuff when I can find the time, and instead of, again, focusing on making other kinds of reviews really polished and really edited, I'm going to make this kind of stuff a lot more raw so that I can really focus on making Rewind as polished of a written, audio thing as I possibly can. Every year I have, at least for myself, I don't always talk about it, but I always have the New Year's resolution thing. I can't help myself. I think a lot of people feel this way, where you get to the start of the year and it feels like an easy place to have a fresh start. This year is going to be different than last year. I don't like to make promises openly, especially things that I don't know if I can hang on to, things that I don't know if I can live up to. But what I would like to do, as I said, is get Rewind up at least twice a month. Once a month, hopefully, definitely. But I would really like to do more of that if at all possible. But I have a couple of kind of major New Year's resolutions I wanted to share with you. That is certainly one of them. Another of them is I am not, and this is just kind of a personal thing, and I just thought it might be interesting to mention. And if you have any New Year's resolutions like this, feel free to put it in the comments so that folks can see what you might be working on, and that might inspire them to do some self-improvement of their own. Something that I've decided this year that I've got to do, and this might sound kind of extreme, is I feel like I have gotten a little bit too addicted to just spending money, to just filling my house with more stuff. And over the last several years, I've amassed quite a bit in the way of reading material and viewing material, media and stuff that I just haven't really consumed. The video games have stacked up, the comics and books have stacked up, and I have just a lot of stuff that I need to, go back through, kind of a back catalog, and sit down and really appreciate the things that I have. I think that's really important. I think it's easy to get to where you buy things just to have them, and you kind of forget about them, and life becomes too much about amassing more stuff and too much about having things than it is about really appreciating them. And I've decided to spend this next year, the entire year, appreciating what I have already and not amassing more. So I'm not spending any money on myself, with rare exceptions, this year, if I can help it. And it's daunting, it's going to be difficult to do, but I'm going to try it. And I think I might, I really think I'm going to feel better for it. And I'm not telling anybody else to do that sort of thing. I just thought you might find it interesting, and I'm curious to see if I can manage it. Part of the reason I wanted to mention it publicly is because I do a lot of videos very often about new acquisitions, and I don't have a series for that anymore, but I tend to show off cool stuff that I bought recently. And I know folks are going to ask me if I'm getting the new console, or one of the new consoles, and if I'm going to review Gotham Knights and things like that. And I'm not planning on getting a new console this year because of that whole plan. I'm not going to buy any new comics this year. I am still certainly going to be able to review a lot of new things as they come out, because I'll make an exception for things on the channel that I really need to review. Gotham Knights I'll want to do eventually, certainly, and any other superhero video games that come out, but that's never been a giant priority on the channel anyway, so I feel like I can probably get away with skipping some of that stuff for a while. So of course, new superhero movies I'm still going to do, certain new comic stuff here and there if I find the time, I will do. I've got access to digital stuff, so I don't, I can't review things like the week they come out that way, but I haven't done that in a long time anyway, so I'm making an exception certainly for streaming services and for things that I need, for the channel, of course. So that doesn't mean that, because I'm not working on my collections this year, it means that you won't see any reviews from me. Certainly, far from it. You may see more, honestly, because I've stacked up quite a bit of stuff that I have not gotten around to looking at, particularly some animated superhero movies that came out last year. And once again, if anything big this year comes out and I actually get caught up, I will, make an exception for those things, and at the very least rent them, if not buying them. But I'm not gonna spend money on myself, like eating out or anything like that. I've decided to really work on saving, because it's just a thing I've never been good at. I'm not the best with money, and I want to just, again, trying to do some self-improvement. I want to work on that. The other thing is I really want to get through requests this year. I want to apologize to anybody who's had a request on the docket for a good long time. I've got some things that go back a year or two, maybe even a little bit longer. I don't feel great about that. I'm going to really try to work on that stuff this year. And there were a few of those requests that are kind of daunting, that it's been hard to not put off because I'm a little bit intimidated by them. That's not an excuse, and I need to sit down and really do them. But it can be easy to worry that you're not going to put out your best work if you really rush it, and then you end up putting things off and not working on them at all. And some of that, to be just brutally honest, ends up being a matter of being kind of like self, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-conscious about it. So anyway, like I said, it's not an excuse. I certainly apologize, but I'm going to make that a big goal for myself this year as well. So now it's time for the big news. I am going to have to take some time off toward the end of the year. I don't know how much yet, at least a month, if not a little longer. And then after that, the output is probably going to be a little bit less. I want to try to get as much work done as I can, as many rewinds and as many requests out as possible. And by the way, when I say requests, I mean rewind request. I'm going to be back to the once a week model, of course. I've taken the last couple weeks off for Christmas, but I'll be putting out a request each week for the $15 tier, the off the cuff request. And those have been going really well, and thanks a bunch to everybody who has donated for that, who has done an official request from Patreon. But anyway, toward well, I say the end of the year, toward the end of the summer, my wife and I are going to have another child. Sarah is pregnant, and I can finally announce that. We've known since just after Thanksgiving, and of course, we needed to tell our families and everything before we could make that information public. But we are indeed having another kid. We are hoping for a girl this time, just like we were with the last one, which is part of the reason we decided to try again. We're very excited about it, and thanks to the few folks in Discord and stuff that we've already told for all the congratulations. But I wanted to go ahead and finally make that public on the channel, just to be transparent, let everybody know what is happening with me this year and why the output, pardon me, might be a little bit lesser toward the end of the year. I'm going to want to go ahead and just take a hiatus and make sure that I'm focusing on my family right after that happens. And again, I'm not sure, how long after that. But anyway, those are the resolutions. Those are my plans for this year. I'm also really hoping to bring back Counting Crypto Freaks in some form. I've been talking about that a lot. In a perfect world, I would be doing some long marathons and do commentaries going through the whole show. I just don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. That is still what I really like to do. So it's either going to be that, or I'm just going to get back to the episodes and put them out as often as possible. I thought about just doing overviews in kind of a podcast format, but the diehard Crypto Freak fans really want to see it finished episode to episode, so I'm kicking around both things right now. This is the 20th anniversary of Smallville, and because that show went on way too long, it's also the 10th anniversary of the end of Smallville, and I don't feel right, given that has been as big of a part of the channel as it has, and Smallville is so weirdly near and dear to my heart, even though it's such a love-hate relationship thing with me, that I don't feel right not putting out any content about Smallville this year, so I'm going to try to get to that as well. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've put out any of Capfall. I'm going to try to get back to that real soon. I need to get a haircut, and I need to let my beard grow out a little bit longer, although that's getting a lot closer. But I had to shave for the holidays because I was seeing a lot of family and I didn't want to look too disheveled, and I have not had the opportunity to get my hair cut back to where it was when I started making that show, and that's supposed to take place over a 24-hour period, so I need to look the same. So that's part of why I haven't gotten any more of that knocked out, but I have another episode or two in the can right now, and I just haven't had time to edit. So anyway, I wanted to be transparent with you guys and let you know exactly what's going on with me and what I was planning on doing for the channel this year. I'm really excited about the podcast format for Rewind, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I will have the next episode out hopefully not too long from now. I was working on that some earlier this evening. I'm doing a review for the Crow City of Angels, so that should be out in hopefully at least a couple weeks, if not earlier. And yeah, so thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I will see you again real shortly with lots more videos. I have a few things already in the can, so if you are not currently a patron and you want to see some early stuff, I have like 3, if not 4 videos that you can, I think 3, that you can go watch right now that are going to be coming up over the next few days. And oh, in case anybody wants to know, because I always get this question with my and Sarah's next child, people like to ask if we're going to find out early if it's a boy or girl, or wait until the delivery room. And we did that last time. We waited with Mikey. He's 2 now, by the way. We waited until we got in the delivery room to find out, and we're going to do that this time as well. So that's really exciting. I'm going to be maybe a little bummed out if it's a boy again, but obviously my 3 boys are wonderful, and I'm sure this one will be as well. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Sure appreciate it. And once again, I'll see you again with lots more videos real soon. Another live show on Thursday, Captain Logan Show, so check it out. And in the meantime, I will see you real shortly. Later, folks.